fix Nigeria. I'm like, I don't want to fix Nigeria. Like, where do I start from? I rather want to just enable somebody to just make something out of himself. For me, like the internet, for example, is one way I talk about it. Which where I would I thought like Stripe my last employer. Because with Stripe, with one email address, you sign up, integrates into your website, you start taking payments from anywhere in the world. Like it opens the world up for you. So you're not limited to this like this reality of Nigeria. From here, we are making shoes, we are making bags, we are making this that you can be like partner with, shipping partner with. Yeah, it opens the world up for you. So I'm like, I don't know, like fix Nigeria. No, I rather just enable you to just access things that work and economies that work. But then if then you make it for yourself, then you can play the next person, and letting more people out of this thing as opposed to like, oh, let's. And so yeah, it's a balance of like pessimism, but like let's actually do what is realistic. Like fix it up.
So you don't think Nigeria is fixable? Earlier you said unless it's burned down. I mean that's a bit extreme, isn't it?
Like I want to say about like a reset.
Yeah.
I mean, but then like is that even possible? Like it's like I mean, how do you reset a country?
Yeah, but I think for me, most people like in Ghana, when people say, well, if people in the diaspora don't move back, who should fix it? You know, if it's the same people who are running the country, people in the diaspora have a responsibility because you've gone, you learned, you've done stuff. So why don't you come here and make it work?
I don't take that responsibility. Again, I don't like why take that responsibility? They made something of themselves. Like they don't owe anybody anything. I don't get responsibility. But for it to be nice if they, I would just say if you have the means, people that have come back to set up companies here, Jason Njoku came back and set up a local. How many people are they employed a lot of people. Haga came back and set up Haga. You have a network of thousands of agents. Yes, if you can come back and do that, actually like me to go. Of course, by all means. But again, like I won't say like you're expected, it's your responsibility. No. If you do it, great. If you don't, like we're all living in the global world, like so you can think of yourself. Good luck to you, like that.
So how do you think like Nigerians are surviving? Like earlier you mentioned that you think that without faith or religion, you know, people wouldn't survive in Nigeria?
Yeah, I think we have very high. It's like a coping adaptation, like a coping mechanism. Like religion, faith keeps us going. There's this saying, you go better. Like it's hard today, but you go better. I really got all the shows, all the game shows. Who wants to be a millionaire? Project Fame. Like it's all this thing of like, oh, I'm this today, but like it'll be great tomorrow. Be a star tomorrow. Whiskey versus nobody, and then also Mali, the Mali and Naira Mali was nobody in 2011 or 2019, 2018. Over a year now, is like one of the biggest like stars. So there's this like hope of like, oh God, faith, destiny, whatever you call it, but like Muslim Christians, like religion, like faith, the universe will find one way. If I keep pushing, I won't say do the right thing, but if I keep pushing and hustling, I just get my big break. And yeah, I mean, people that had that are outliers, they're not the majority, but they're like shining examples. I'm like, okay, if I keep at it, if I keep going to the recording studio, I'll just like drop a single that will just make me blow. And then I will like have one song like the guy from the US that had the Old Town Road, like just one song. But yeah, I mean, people didn't see like the hustle I went to his Instagram feed and everything. But like, okay, if I just keep at it, I'll get big. And yeah, people are really like praying. People like, I mean, you got the churches that go to Redeem or the Liberation Camp, or like people are praying. But yeah, like I said, people pray. They pray on Sunday and then they go to place their bets in the betting house as well, so that if it's a miracle or if it's true luck.
So, so do you think there's hope? Like, I mean, they're finding hope in church, finding hope in faith, in religion, but do you actually think Nigerians are hopeful that things will turn around, that, you know, it will?
I think we are hopeful by design. Like, again, I said, whether it's the right hope, whether it's healthy or the right kind of hope, I can't say. But I think, like, it's got us thus far. I mean, I said, imagine Nigerians without churches or without mosques. I don't want to even imagine it. Like, imagine the God factor was not that prominent in the society. Because everybody, bad and good people, all call on God and all like acknowledge that there's this thing, there's this force that can kill me tomorrow or can like. So there is that acknowledgement, whether traditionally or in modern religion. So yeah, we're hopeful by default. Now whether it's false hope, because people die on account of it. So whether it's false hope, whether it's healthy, whether it's the right kind of hope, I think it's definitely sustaining us. Like, and things will be worse if we don't have that.
Wow.
Yeah.
And earlier we were driving through Victoria Island, and the two of us saw some like a lot of construction.
Yeah.
And I was like, wow, and we saw a building that was actually a church, and it was huge. And so I was like, it's just from what you hear, Nigeria's in a recession is difficult, you know. But do you think the recession is everywhere, or you think it's certain people, certain parts of society, or you know?
Yeah, I mean, okay. First of all, I really don't think there's a recession. I think there's just definitely going. But just taking like again, it's a thing of like two Nigerians. There's a rich and the poor, and the rich man, whether through luck or positioning or whatever, or God or whatever he believes in, is getting richer. Because I mean, like I was saying, you just hear there's a cinema down there. Someone built the cinema.
Yeah.
But people are also coming to the cinema and buying tickets as well.
I think we should just show the view outside, maybe just to understand. You know, it's quite a nice view.
Yeah.
You have like the seaside, you have the Hard Rock Cafe, loads of people just chilling outside by the beach.
So those are kind of going through recession, like.
Yeah.
So I think the poor are getting poorer as well, because again, I mean I drove through Bariga, which is like on the mainland, and you have people like they're just like sitting in the sun, waiting to like stop bikes and harass buses to get 20 naira or like 10 naira just to put all together, but then the next meal, their next fix for alcohol or something.
So they're begging, or
I won't say begging, that's not even begging, because begging is like please give me, but this is more like I'm gonna like harass you and waste your time until you give me something. Like so
are those what they call area boys, or
area boys,
and you don't have a choice, you have to give them, or how does it work?
Well, only if you want to. If you have time to waste, you can just keep going back and forth with them. But if you value your time, you would pay them and like just give them something just to get along and just go out.
So don't let you move.
Yeah, they will just keep frustrating you or like. I mean, of course, if you can like act back to them, I'll be like just like no, I'm not like I'm one of you, or like no, like well, I'm giving you yesterday. Like I mean, there are tactics you can get around it, but again, it's a thing of like. Where I want to waste my time here. I mean, with bikers, like, okay, if I give the guy 20 naira, I could go get a passenger and get that 20 naira back.
Yeah.
Because I'm a customer, I would just like waste my time here and miss out on more business. And yeah, these are grown men sitting in the sun, like just waiting for the next bike to harass and all that. So that's that world, and there's this world about just here chilling like in a cafe or going to the film house and all. So yeah, like they are two Nigerians. That's just the truth.
So what would you tell, let's say, your younger self, like now that you've like left the country, you've seen another world, you know, you're not gonna forget Nigeria, you're still gonna do stuff here, but you don't wanna live here. I mean, would you tell your younger self that you made the right decision, or would you, I mean, what are your thoughts on?
I mean, I can't even take credit for that. I would think that's my parents. My parents like just they saw the point of like just like international exposure and like see that okay, there are different things and it's not all of this. So I can't take credit for that. But yeah, I mean, I would. Let me put it this way. I mean, for my kid, I would definitely like have them exposed more to. I mean, to Nigeria, to the rest of Nigeria, because you don't want to like create this fake reality like it's all great. Like I think it's always good to have that balance view of like things are working here, but here, there's a bit of things are not working. And so, what I to see that as a way to be more grateful for when things work, or even an inspiration to actually fix things when they don't work. But then I'll leave it up to that person to decide, because again, when you say fix Nigeria, like, where do we get started on that?
I think for me, there was one thing which it's a positive and also a negative that I find about Nigeria. Before I even first visited here a few years back, Nigerians online or Nigerians in generally will be very protective of the name Nigeria or the brand Nigeria, where they'll defend it regardless of if whatever they're defending is right or wrong.
Right.
You know, which as a Ghanaian, I think Ghanaians usually, they'll jump ship a bit easier. They'll you know, the Nigerian can have this like blind support, even if the jollof is not as nice. They'll be like, the jollof is nice, you know. But let's forget jollof. I've seen that other things, but I think it was easier back in the day when the internet wasn't there. You know, oh no, Nigeria is great. You know, Nigeria is a giant of Africa, and all these things. But in reality, yes, in numbers, in infrastructure, and when I come to VI and these places, I'm like, wow, this is so big in comparison to Ghana. Yeah. I'm like, wow, these people are thinking big. But obviously, there's a lot more money to play around with in Nigeria, a lot more human capital, all that stuff. But you know, that whole narrative online where Nigerians, you know, would be like on Twitter, where if you dare say something about Nigeria, they're all like, no, we are great, this is excellent, you can't compare.
I don't refer to Nigeria, the country, or Nigerians, the people, because those are two different things.
Wow, so Nigeria, the country, and Nigeria, the people are different.
Oh yeah, I mean, like look at when Trump actually said Nigerians in the US are not contributing, and the whole world were like, no. There's data to show that these are people that are educated in the US, they're contributing this much money to the economy. These are Nigerians who are doctors, who are like engineers, so these are Nigerians again in the US. So Nigeria, so yeah, I would definitely defend a Nigerian as a person anywhere in the world. Like I'm like, yes, that have the tendency to be great.
So the Nigerian with an N, who's a good one, or the Nigerian with a small N. You know, I have this dichotomy of, you know, like not saying every Nigerian is the same, because I've met amazing Nigerians all over the world. Yeah. And then there are certain people who don't give the country a good name with their deeds. You know, so which are you also going to separate?
No, but like I said, I would defend the Nigerian.
Yeah.
But like when you say Nigeria is great, if it is a country, like the place, the system, the infrastructure, like the government, like that, for me, I would not do that. I would not say that Nigeria is great as a country. But the Nigerian is great, or has a tendency to be great given the right conditions. Well, I think that every human being has the tendency to be great, but I think they just have the higher tendency to be great.
But don't you think Nigerians have a higher tendency to be great, especially when they are removed from the Nigerian setting, simply because of the craziness of Nigeria and the pressure? So it's easier if you are in this pressure cooker and you go elsewhere, everything was easier for you.
Exactly.
So if everything was working, then the Nigerian might not be as great. Technically, maybe.
That's very logical as well. Like I said, like I mean, there's a saying if you can make it in New York, you can make it
anywhere. Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, it could be. I mean, that could be against all odds. I made it. That could be what's actually making Nigerians even great wherever they've actually been to, because they know where they're coming from. They're like, oh, okay. Now I can show up to my work on time. I can do great work rather than here I'm actually like chasing the boss or getting something to break. So you're right. Like, there's a point that like as Nigeria, the condition of the country, is that what I feel like drives Nigeria to actually become great? And I feel like for the fear of like, okay, what would have been the alternative if I was not here instead? So yeah, you're right.
So you think people who discuss Nigeria should separate the country from, but then people say, well, Nigeria, the country is great, is an African giant. Do you think Nigeria is the African giant? I mean, you have Burna Boy pushing that same narrative.
That's the person.
Yeah, but he's an African Nigerian.
No, but like when he says Africa is great and related to our music, who is he referring to? He's not referring to the music industry. The music industry is not great. Like the system, I mean, the African artist is not enjoying the luxury that. I mean, they're not going on tours and like. So I don't think it's referring to the system. It's referring to the human potential. Like, okay, Fela and Black Okuti, this Ebenezer Obey, Two-Face Idibia, Burna Boy, Wizkid, Davido. So Nigerians who are again against all odds broke into the international scene, have collaborations with Akon and the rest of them, and put that on the map. And pretty much like run Afrobeat. Same thing with like, I mean, Ghana with Azonto. Yeah. That to the map. So I think he says African giant, I think it's very like the person, the human that has come out against all that adversity to actually become great despite the lack of infrastructure systems that enabled that in the first place.
So I think I'm not going to ask you too many more questions, but so how do we move away from it being individual, excellence of like spots of excellence and fantastic human potential to actually a nation which is great, which I don't think most Nigerians would agree that a country has. I mean, it's weird. I find that, through the news, you watch news channels, through Nigerians discussing it with themselves online, they would say, well, this is bad. But if an outsider comes and gets involved in the conversation, and it's like, what are you, they all turn around and attack you. Which I think Nigerians like need to be a bit more honest with themselves when outsiders point out their mess. But they'd rather be like, look, you see 10 Nigerians fighting each other about, let's say, the ban of Okada in like Lagos, and the second a Ghanaian comes and says, oh, you guys are messed up, man, your Lagos state didn't even they all stop fighting each other and they'll all attack you. But times I think they should just listen for the outsider and say, oh, you know what, that guy might be saying something. That's one thing which I think Nigerians should be a bit more open to critique from outsiders. I suppose, because now the internet is there, we know what's happening in Nigeria. Like I watch channels TV, I watch whatever I'm watching, so it's different. Like if you attack me and say, oh, Ghana is shit, I can be like, okay, you don't have electricity. Okay, I know how bad your roads are. I know that some governor got kidnapped this week. The stories are there, so like I feel that be more in touch with some Nigerians to be more, especially Twitter gangsters, or they need to be more in touch with reality, because it's not like before where it's a vacuum. There's a vacuum, or you hear stories about maybe when Ghanaians used to live in Nigeria and stuff. And I think actually most of the people don't even have the scope of history. They don't really understand the kind of relationship maybe Ghana actually had with Nigeria before. They don't have the precedents. They don't have a lot of the precedents, but even maybe Nigeria must go even before Ghana must go, all those kind of things. So people kind of like, some of them have never even been to Ghana. So, and they don't even realize that there's actually two countries in between Ghana and Nigeria. Even me, the first time I came to Nigeria, I thought Nigeria was next door. But there's actually two countries. So, and Benin. So it's very interesting how, I think if we are a bit more honest, we as Africans and Nigerians, about our issues when people point it out, as opposed to being like, oh, what the heck? Like when Trump said shithole countries, most people were upset. I personally wasn't upset. Honestly, because we do have pockets of shitholes. Sorry for my language. And I think if we took it from the other perspective of, look, it's not good enough. For somebody to say that our continent is a shithole continent, then we need to set our asses up and do the work. But we would rather maybe be angry with the person, write long articles, be upset with him, tell him why we have a fantastic continent. But then did we deal with the issues? Did we deal with the shithole bits?
So I have a question as to like, how do we go from the individual to the collective? Like I said, I think for me it's one raise one. And I mean that's my philosophy. And so whatever I do now, okay, how do I enable that one person? Because I mean I have real life examples of people that I left this country. When I left Nigeria to Ireland in 2013, all they had was one laptop. Now these people are taking over buildings and hiring 20, 30, 40 people. So it's not like it's not possible. So you can get one person, enable that person, to enable the next person, to enable the next person. That for me is the way. Because then like PayPal Mafia, these are all people that were working PayPal. Now their networks spans across, the amount of wealth and job that they created in just one company. And so how can I have pocket of those mafias? And for me, entrepreneurship, the internet, technology is one that makes a level playing field. Yes, it's not ideally level because it's expensive to get data and everything, but in the long run, all this will come down. The smartphone, the internet access, money transfer will come down. So like ubiquity, like same way you online, same way you send money. So how do I feel that start enabling people to build on top of that? And so sign up open an online store, get your things abroad, work with partners. That for me is just the way I feel like how this will actually scale. But I think when we say fix Nigeria, I think we just forget about this whole fix the system and Yeah, that's a. Well, I mean, if you're a billionaire and like a billionaire, and God invests you in a dream and says, okay, my son, your mission is not go to go fix healthcare or fix infrastructure in Nigeria, and you have all the resources. By all means, but like realistically, as a person today, what you can do today right now, how can I enable that one person to start something that I'm going to enable the next person, the next person, the next person, and just keep it going.
So just like one minute, just tell us who you are, what you do, and then what does it mean to be a Nigerian to you?
So my name is Nubi Kay. People call me Nubi Kay. I work in program management and operations at Stripe. And for me, what it means to be Nigerian is to go against all odds and make something of yourself.
All right, thank you.